Now we're going to move on to a different theme for the next few sessions, which you talks around digital twins. And I'd first like to give you like to welcome Mark Gaskarth, who's head of the digital twin programs at EPSRC, who's going to talk about UKRI and digital twins.
Thank you, Brian. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm head of digital twins at the Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council, and I'm working as part of a collaborative effort on digital twins with colleagues across UKRI and also in BEIS as the lead policy department for digital twinning. And today I'm going to talk about three things. Firstly, UKRI and our current investments in digital twinning. Secondly, UKRI's work on the development of a potential UK digital twin programme, which would set out the long-term future. And thirdly, I'm going to link back to Daphne, because obviously today's subject is Daphne and the launch. So, thank you. This slide shows UKRI, which was created in 2018. It brings together the 7 research councils, Research England and Innovate UK, as was described earlier this morning. The strength of this is that we have all the research disciplines, and also we can span the TRLs, so linking up with Innovate UK in terms of adoption and innovation. In terms of digital twinning, this is particularly important because a technology of this type can't be seen in isolation. We need to look at things both in terms of the science and the arc of technologies which are needed to bring together digital twinning, but also the social sciences. The digital twins will need to work with and for people. So it's really important that we've got ESRC within UKRI. We've also got AHRC, so they can look at the trust and the ethics of things. We've got STFC around facilities and infrastructure. And also we have NERC, particularly to look at sustainability. I was describing there UKRI and all the breadth of UKRI, the research disciplines, and also about moving through the TRLs in terms of adoption and innovation. Next slide, please. And the key part there is Daphne itself is an example of integration across UKRI. So you have all of the funding coming from EPSRC, but also the expertise and delivery coming through STFC. So when we're talking about digital twinning, this is a term that means different things to different people, I found in my 2 years of working on this. And so what do we mean about digital twinning in UKRI? We mean a digital copy of a specific physical item connected through a flow of data in real or near real time, with the ability to interact with the physical twin and also to run simulations and emulations offline. So it's of a specific physical item or a system with all the faults and imperfections of that item or system. And why are digital twins then important? As was said this morning in the presentation from Dame Ottiline Leiser, it helps us to understand how things work, so we can do things more efficiently. The new focus is on the relationships between things, and this requires us to understand systems and processes. And also she talked about the focus has moved up a level from parts to their interactions. And so digital twins can help us to understand how things work at various scales and with and across systems, so we can improve the way we do things. And this slide, kindly supplied by a colleague in Rolls-Royce, looks at the verticals and horizontals. So I think sometimes there's an assumption that everything will be connected, all digital twins of everything will be connected together, and I'm not sure that that will be the case. I think that there are natural areas where there would be digital twins that would be developed first. There'll be natural verticals that will be developed, as you can see here, of digital twins that will be linked vertically within a sector or system. And also then there would be a natural reason, logic, to integrate digital twins within the verticals with other verticals, and also to get a horizontal view of things, so to get a systemic view. And I think this has been shown into real importance through the COVID pandemic, if you think about all the different systems involved and the need to make decisions across systems. So it's about value and where you can see the value. Next slide, please. So as I said, I'm from EPSRC, and EPSRC, we've now set up a theme for this, a digital twins theme. And the reason for that is that digital twins is particularly important to us because it spans so many of our themes, and some of them are listed here. And it brings together the arc of technologies, as some colleagues have described it, which enables you to develop the twin, but not only in terms of the technology, as I say, but in terms of having the ability to use it in practice through its interaction with people. Next slide, please. Thank you. So we're already investing in digital twinning. Daphne is one of these investments. So in Innovate UK, at the top of the slide, you can see some of the things that we're investing in generally, which is studentships, research, fellowships, infrastructure and R&D. In Innovate UK, there are various competitions that include digital twinning, although they're not specifically focused on digital twinning. And then in UKRI, in EPSRC, for example, we're investing in DigiTwin, which is about improved dynamic design. We've also made a prosperity partnership investment, one of a number, in this one in advanced simulation and modelling of gas turbine engines. And also you'll see on the slide CMAC, so our digital twinning investment in medicines manufacture. We're also investing through the Alan Turing Institute, who are doing a lot of work in this area. And as I say, Daphne is a key component of these investments. Thank you. Next slide. So that was about what we're doing currently. What we're doing next, we're doing a lot of work across UKRI and also working with BEIS to explore what might be needed for the long-term future of the UK to develop a national capability in digital twinning. Now, national capability is a term which was mentioned in the integrated review, and it was described that there was a requirement for a national capability in digital twinning. What we're looking at within this is we're looking at 3 potential objectives of our proposed programme. If you can go back one slide, please. Sorry. We're looking at building the cyber-physical foundations. We're looking at developing the next generation of digital twins. So thinking about what's needed in 5 to 10 years and how we can develop digital twins that will add the value that will be needed in 5 to 10 years, and also the people who will be critical to this and the infrastructure that will be needed. And we're also looking to increase the rate and range of adoption and commercialization of digital twin technologies. Next slide, please. So why would we want to do this? We think that there is a potential level of ambition and transformation that could be created, which would put the UK in a really strong position. What we would look to do, and as you can see from this slide and the next slide, is that, and I'll go through them in line by line, you can see various different paradigm shifts that could be created, subject to the level of ambition, as I say. Firstly, digital twins are used in highly controlled environments at the moment, so things like Formula One. And as was said this morning, there is an ambition, I think, to use digital twins much more widely and for the public good, where they can derive public values such as in transport, housing and health. Digital twins are often used by specialists, and I think Catherine was sort of alluding to this earlier. The digital twins are often used by people who get up in the morning, if you like, for digital twinning. And we think that in the future, there'll need to be a shift, which might start with co-development between specialists and users, but also would then move to a position where people who would get the real value and benefit from digital twinning being involved in the use of those twins and not needing to go to specialists all the time. And also that digital twins currently are often developed by a small number of suppliers. There's also a move globally, I think, for a pay-to-play model. And we wonder whether it would be possible to make digital twinning available to all and not owned by a few. Next slide, please. Digital twins are often developed and used in isolation at the moment for specific cases with the investment, because the digital twin would derive value for a few people. What we would like is a critical mass of skilled people and integrated investments which would anchor the national capability within the UK. There could be a move potentially from not having many tools and frameworks and incentives and regulation to building those in the UK, developing on the UK strengths and values so that we can influence the way this is done globally. And also, and this is really important, this last one, moving from digital models that offer, and I say this advisedly, relatively low levels of value, to digital twins that do all the things that you can see on the slide there, integrating with people, adding high levels of value, federating at different scales and across systems and sectors. And I'll say this for 2 reasons, really. Digital models, often in the conversations I've had and colleagues have had with people developing digital twins, not in all cases, but in many cases, the people we've talked to have talked about digital models rather than digital twins according to the definition I gave earlier. And secondly, it's not to decry the digital models that are being used now. I'm sure they're really valuable in their setting. What we're proposing, though, is just thinking ahead and being ambitious. If there was a level of ambition to create digital twins that could offer much more value and operate in high fidelity, what they could offer to the various systems and sectors in the UK in terms of productivity, in terms of achieving net zero more quickly, and in terms of national security and national resilience. Next slide, please. So then moving on to Daphne. So Daphne is an investment as part of UKRIC, as has been said, with an original capital investment from EPSRC. We've seen the potential of it and have now provided over £1 million of additional funding. And there are two elements to this. So firstly, to widen the usage and capability, supporting particularly engineering and related research programs over the next 2 years, but hopefully also more widely than that. And secondly, extending the relationships established in the development phase, looking to work with academia, but also then widening it to industry and government, building collaborations. So that's the reason for the additional funding. And just drawing to a close with my presentation, there are a couple of key points to take away, I think. So firstly, I would encourage all of those who are involved in research in digital twinning to seize this opportunity and to engage with Daphne at this key time at the start of this 2-year period of investment. And secondly, I'd like to signpost that there is a summer of engagement, which BEIS and UKRI are soon to launch, on cyber physical infrastructure and digital twins. And I would encourage you to have your voice and have your say and contribute to that. And you should see more about that coming out in the next couple of weeks. And just to close, thank you very much for inviting me to talk and for listening. And I'd like to wish all my colleagues in Daphne all the very best with their work over the next few years. Thank you.